नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तमलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। भगवद्गीता अध्याय 2 श्लोक 70। आपूर्यमाणमचलप्रतिष्ठम् समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत्कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी। In the previous shloka, Bhagavan talked about one of the characteristics of a sthita prajna, karma abhavaha, vidushaha karma abhavaha. A jnani is free from karma. Now, once again, Bhagavan reverts to another topic, Vairagya. Right in the beginning of Sthita Prajna Lakshanani, Bhagavan started with Vairagya. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan. Prajahati yada kaman. A jnani gives up all kamas, all desires. He is free from all desires. And from this, we can understand that to be a sthita prajna, a mumukshu has to make effort to give up the kama, give up the desires. Kama tyaga, eshanatraya tyaga. It was talked about right in the beginning of Sthita Prajna Lakshanani. Now Bhagavan is reminding the same topic to emphasize the need of Vairagya in the pursuit of moksha. And he gives an example. The example of an ocean. An ocean is not a closed system. It is not a closed water body. Every moment, water keeps gushing into the ocean from all directions. Various streams of water from various rivers. They keep flowing into the water. Also, when it rains, water falls down into the ocean. Therefore, from all directions, water flows into the ocean, into the samudra. Despite the flow of water, the ocean does not get shaken. The ocean does not show any sign of disturbance. It does not show any ups and downs. Despite gallons of water flowing into the ocean every moment, tons of water flowing into the ocean every moment, the ocean remains undisturbed. It is not shaken by the flows of water. Also, all the water that flows in silently merges into the ocean. Once it flows in, you cannot recognize the water that has flown in. It just merges into the ocean. Likewise, a mumukshu who is virakta, who cultivates vairagya, even when he is doing the transactions, even when he is experiencing various sense objects during his transactions, even if certain desires arise because of his samskara, for a mumukshu, the desires might arise because of his previous samskara. Certain desires might arise in a mumukshu. Even when the desires arise, the desires do not shake him. He does not allow the desires to shake him. He does not follow the desires. And he does not get restless because of the desires. Instead, with the help of his viveka, he resolves the desires. He makes effort to resolve the desires with his viveka. And in due course of time, after a while, the desire dissolves into himself. the desire melts down, evaporates. There is no more desire. Such a mumukshu, who does not allow himself to be disturbed by the desires, instead he makes effort to gain mastery over the desires, to be free from the desires. In due course of time, he becomes a sthita prajnaha, and then he gets moksha. On the other hand, another person who follows his desire, who gets disturbed by the desires, gets distracted by the desires, he does not get moksha, because he cannot become a sthita prajna. See the bhashya. Sorry, we will see the moola first. Yadvat means example. Just as, just like. Apuryamanam, it is a description of a samudra, an ocean. An ocean is apuryamana. It is always being filled with water, always being fed with water. Every moment it keeps getting the supply of water. It is not a stagnant, closed body of water. Achala pratishtham, yet achala pratishtham. It is achala. It does not get shaken. Achala pratishtham. Achala pratishtha yasya saha achala pratishtha. Tam achala pratishtham. It is steadily established, unshaken in its steadiness, in its pratishtha, in its steadiness. It is achala, it is unshaken. Samudram, apuryamanam and achala pratishtham are adjectives of samudra. Apaha pravishanti, water enters from all directions. And even when the water enters, it is achala pratishtha. It does not get shaken. Tadvat, likewise. Tadvat onwards, darshtanta. Yadvat onwards, drishtanta. From tadvat, it is darshtanta. Yam sarve kamaha pravishanti. All kamas, all desires, yam pravishanti, they enter this person. the desires enter. Means the desires come, and even when they come, they cannot disturb him. They cannot distract him, because he is not allowing them to distract him. He is actively working on annihilation of the desires with the help of his viveka. Sarve kamaha pravishanti. Without disturbing him, they enter him. And the entry has another significance. They just resolve in due course of time. Ultimately, they resolve. Saha shantim apnoti. He attains moksha. By becoming a sthita prajna. Na kamakami. A kamakami. A slave of his desires. Kaman kamayitum shilam yesham yasya saha kamakami. One who entertains desires. One who is a slave of the desires. He does not make effort to cultivate vairagya. He cannot get shanti. He cannot get moksha. See the bhashya, sambandha bhashya. Vidushaha tyaktayishanasya स्थित प्रज्ञस्य यतेह एव मोक्ष प्राप्तिः न तो असन्यासिनः कामकामिनः इत्येतमर्थं दृष्टान्तेन प्रतिपादयिष्यन् आहा विदुषः त्यक्तैषणस्य स्थितप्रज्ञस्य यतेह एव मोक्षप्राप्तिः कस्य मोक्षप्राप्तिः who gets moksha, who successfully accomplishes moksha. Yatehe, he should be a yati. Yati means yatate mokshartham iti yatihi. He makes effort for moksha. An easy-going life cannot give moksha. Moksha and easy-going life cannot go together. One has to make effort. And the effort involves cultivating vairagya, tyaktayishanasya. He should become a tyaktayishanaha. Tyaktaha eshanaha yena saha. Tyaktayishanaha. One who has given up eshanas, desires, means he has cultivated vairagya with effort. And then he becomes a vidushaha, vidwan, he gets a jnana. And in due course of time, he becomes a sthita prajnaha. Sthita prajnasya moksha praptihi. He gets moksha. न tu asannyasinah kamakaminah. An asanyasi, one who has not taken sannyasa, he cannot get moksha. Asanyasinah means he has not cultivated vairagya. No vairagya. Yeshanatraya tyaga he has not done. He is an asanyasi. Not just wearing kashaya, just doing a ritual and wearing kashaya, it is not enough. Even after that, if one has Eshanatraya, he is also asanyasi. Sannyasa means Eshanatraya tyaga. Asanyasinaha, one who is not a sannyasi. Kamakaminaha, and he is kamakami. He follows his desires. Na moksha praptihi, he does not get moksha. Ityetamartham drishtantena pratipadayishyan. Ityetamartham, this truth, this fact, which was already told right from the first verse of Sthita Prajna Lakshanani. What is the number? 55. Yeah. It was already mentioned. Now, Bhagavan wants to give an example. Drishtantena pratipadayishyan, with an intention to explain it. Pratipadayishyan, intending to explain it with a drishtanta, with an example. Aha, Bhagavan aha, apuryamanam ityadi. Apuryamanam adbhihi achala pratishtham achalataya pratishtha avasthitihi yasya tam achala pratishtham samudram apaha sarvato gataha pravishanti swatmastham avikriyameva santam yadvat tadvat kamaha vishaya sannidhau api sarvataha इच्छा विशेषाः यं पुरुषं समुद्रम इव आपः अविकुर्वन्तः प्रविशन्ति सर्वे आत्मन्येव प्रलीयन्ते न स्वात्मवशं कुर्वन्ति सह शांतिं मोक्षमाप्नोति न इतरः कामकामी काम्यन्ते इति कामाः विषयाः तान् कामयितुं शीलं यस्य सः कामकामी नैव प्राप्नोति इत्यर्थः। आपूर्यमाणम् adbhihi apuryamanam. It is being filled by water, being fed by water. It is present tense. Shanach pratyaya. Apuryamana. Not that already it is filled. It is full, yet it is getting filled. Despite being full, it is getting filled. Apuryamanam. Adbhihi apuryamanam. Achala pratishtham. Achalataya pratishtha avasthitihi yasya. Tam achala pratishtham. Pratishtha means avasthitihi. Steadiness. And its steadiness is achala, unshakable. Nothing can shake the steadiness of the ocean. The ocean does not leave its place and go elsewhere. It will remain there only. Achala pratishtham. Samudram. That kind of samudra. Apaha. Sarvatogataha apaha. Water in all directions. Water present in all directions. Pravishanti. They enter the ocean. What kind of ocean? Swatmastham, who is present in his own nature. The ocean does not change its nature. Ocean does not change its size. Ocean does not change its shape. Swatmastham, present in its own nature. No change in the ocean. No visible change happens in the ocean, despite so much of water entering every moment. Avikriyameva santam, not disturbed, no change. Swatmastham means avikriyameva santam. It does not change its nature. Pravishanti yadvat, yadvat pravishanti, how the waters enter. Tadvat, likewise, similarly. Kamaha. See the word kamaha. Shankaracharya takes kamaha to mean ichha visheshaha. Various desires. Ichha visheshaha. But Madhusudana Saraswati gives a different interpretation. He takes kamaha to mean object of desire. Various objects of desire enter. In that case, it is a beautiful description of Jivan Mukta, a Sthita Prajna. Even when he is experiencing the objects enter him through experiences, yet they don't disturb him. Vikara hetau sati vikriyante yeshanna chetaamsita eva dhiraha. Kalidasa says in Kumara Sambhava. Vikara hetau sati vikriyante yeshanna chetansita eva dhiraha. Vikara hetau sati. Even when there is a vikara hetu, something which can cause a desire and disturb the mind. Yesham chetamsi na vikriyante. Their mind does not get disturbed. They don't get desire. They are the jnanis. Te eva dhiraha. Kalidasa is describing Shiva. Even when someone is dancing in front of Shiva to tempt him, he is not disturbed. So, if we take Kama as a sense object, as Madhusudana Saraswati does, then this verse refers to a Sthitaprajna himself. Because a Sthitaprajna is experiencing all the sense objects without having any desire at all. No desire comes in his mind. But Shankaracharya takes Kamaha as Ichha Visheshaha. See the subtle difference. We should note such subtle difference when we study the Bhashya. Shankaracharya takes Kama to mean Ichha Vishesha. Desires enter him, pravishanti. Shankaracharya doesn't say there are no desires. Then we should take a mumukshu. Ichha visheshaha pravishanti. They enter. When Vishaya sannidhau api, when there is Vishaya sannidhi, when he is in contact with the sense object, when he is not in Vishaya sannidhi, when he is not in contact with the sense objects, the desires may not come. There is less chance of desires to come. That is why Bhashyakara says, Vishaya sannidhau api. Even when he is in contact with the sense object. Sarvataha Ichha Visheshaha. The Ichha Visheshaha, they enter him from various directions. Various directions means caused by various objects. Yam Purusham Pravishanti, they enter him. How Samudram iva apaha avikurvantaha. Avikurvantaha pravishanti. Without disturbing him, without distracting him, means a mumukshu does not allow the ichhas to distract him. He cultivates vairagya with the help of dosha darshanam and gains mastery over the desires. Samudram iva apaha. Bhashyakara reminds the example once again. Just like the water enters an ocean without disturbing the ocean, similarly, all the desires enter him without disturbing his composure, without disturbing his pursuit of moksha. And then, because of his effort, the ichhas, the desires, they don't gain strength. In an ajnani, one who is not a viveki, who is not making effort to conquer his desires, what happens? He might entertain the desire, cherish the desire, and then the desires gain grounds in his mind. They become stronger and stronger. But in his case, Even when a desire has entered his mind, he does not entertain them. Instead, he is practicing viveka, doing dosha darshanam, reminding himself of the limitations of the objects. Thereby he is cultivating vairagya. Therefore, instead of gaining grounds, instead of gaining strength, the ichcha slowly dies down, subsides. Just like the water entering the ocean subsides into the ocean. Swat atmanyeva praliyante. They subsides into himself, in his mind. Atmani. You can take atmani as manasi. Manasi eva praliyante. They subside in his mind. Na swatmavasham kurvanti. They don't make the person his slave. The desires don't succeed in controlling the person. Ichcha visheshaha swatmavasham na kurvanti. The ichcha does not make him his slave, its slave. They don't gain control over him. Na swatmavasham kurvanti. Such a person becomes a sthita prajna in due course of time. Saha shantim moksham apnoti. And he gets a shanti. And the shanti means moksha, not a relative shanti. It is absolute shanti. Atyantiki shanti, not apekshiki shanti. Shanti means samsara uparama. Samsara comes to an end. Apnoti, he attains. Na itaraha, itaraha kamakami. Shantim na apnoti. Itaraha, another person. Who is he? Kamakami. And here, Bhashyakara gives the Vigrahavakya of Kamakami. The first Kama means sense object, object of desire. Kamyante iti kamaha. Karma vyutpatti. Kamyante iti kamaha. And so kamaha means vishayaha, the objects, objects of desire. Tan kamayitum shilam yasya saha kamakami. Kaman kamayitum shilam yasya saha kamakami. So kama, kamadhatu, nini pratyaya. Tachilye ninihi. That is why Sheelam, he has the nature of, he has the habit of entertaining desire for various objects. Naiva prapnoti ityarthaha. Na prapnoti eva. No chance of getting moksha. If he wants something else, goes after something else, then no chance of getting moksha. Next shloka. 71 विहाय कामान् यः सर्वान् पुमाश्चरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः स शान्तिमधिगच्छति. Once again, freedom from kama, kamatyaga or vairagya is emphasized as a means for moksha. Yaha puman, which puman? Puman means a man. Man means a human being. Sarvan kaman vihaya, giving up all kama, cultivating vairagya, nisprahaha, free from spraha, free from desire, free from attachment, nirmamaha, free from mamakara, my identification, this is mine identification, is nirmamaha. Nirgatam mama yasya saha nirmamaha. And nirahankaraha, free from ahankara, free from pride, free from conceit, san charati, being so, charati, he moves around, means he is living, he continues, he leads his life despite having no desire. Saha shanti madhigacchati, he gets a shanti, he gets moksha. Yasmadevam, tasmat. Bhashyakara connects this with the previous shloka, and between previous shloka and this shloka he gives the connection of hetu hetu madbhava. The previous shloka serves as a hetu. Kamakami shantim na apnoti. One who has desires, he will not get moksha. Tasmat. So it is yasmat evam. Yasmat evam means yasmat kamakami shantim na apnoti. Since kamakami cannot get moksha, therefore who will get moksha? Tasmat. Therefore one who gives up kama, he gets moksha. Vihaya parityajya kaman yaha sannyasi puman sarvan asheshataha karsnena charati जीवनमात्र चेष्टाशेषः पर्यटतीत्यर्थः. विहाय is equal to parityajya, giving up what? Kaman, all desires. sarvan, sarvan qualifies kaman, all desires. And Bhashyakara explains sarvan as asheshataha, without anything left over. I will leave one kama, all other kamas should go. Not so. Even one kama is there, it is enough to hook the person down to samsara. That is why Ramakrishna Paramahamsa would say, the thread, if the thread has slight deviation, then it cannot enter the eye of a needle. If it has to enter the eye of a needle, it should be fully sharp. All the strands of the thread should come together, and there should not be any deviation. Likewise, if any one kama is there, the person cannot get moksha. Therefore, sarvan, all, asheshataha, Bhashyakara emphasize further, asheshataha, parityajya, giving up. So, asheshataha, one more word also is used. Karsnyena, completely. Karsnyena, yaha puman sannyasi. And if he gives up all the kamas, all the desires, then he is a sannyasi. He does not have to accomplish anything in life. But then charati, he moves around. Bhashyakara explains the word charati. Jivana matra cheshta sheshaha paryatati ityarthaha. Jivana matra cheshta sheshaha. See, if there is no kama, if there is no desire, there won't be karma also. Because only when there is kama, there is karma. If you have to accomplish something, then you do karma, action. But this person does not have anything to accomplish. Then what will he do? Nothing. No other cheshta. No cheshta, no activity to accomplish anything. No activity to fulfill the desires. So, sakama karma is not possible. And then if he is a jnani, already he is a jnani, he is a sthita prajnaha. Therefore, even the nishkama karma is not possible. Because he has already attained chitta shuddhi. He has no need of working for chitta shuddhi also. Therefore, nishkama karma is also not possible. Then what karma will he do? The prarabdha has kept his body alive. Therefore, just for conducting his life, he will do some activities just to take care of his body. And even that work cannot be considered as a karma because there is no kartrutva. He might go for bhiksha, he may wash his clothes, he may have bath, all those work he will do because it is jivana matra, for the sake of living. continuing his life that is kept alive by prarabdha. Even that cannot be considered as a karma because there is no kartrutva buddhi. Therefore, Bhashyakara trickily uses the word cheshta instead of karma. He doesn't call it karma also. Jivanamatra karma he doesn't say. Jivanamatra cheshta sheshaha. The cheshta meant for continuing his life. That much alone, matra, is remaining, sheshaha. Jivanamatra cheshta sheshaha yasya saha. जीवनमात्र चेष्टा शेषा यस्य सः. जीवनमात्र चेष्टा शेषः. Paryatati. Charati means paryatati. He roams around. And Shankaracharya thinks that he will definitely take sannyasa because he does not have anything else to accomplish. Therefore, he will not continue performing karma. And in the Vedic lifestyle, if one does not have any purpose in continuing the karma, he will give up karma. And he does not give up the karma just like that. It is the modern giving up. I don't believe in it, let me give up. But that is not the type of giving up. A Vaidika will not just drop karma. He will take sannyasa, adopt sannyasa, and live like a sannyasi. The sannyasa involves giving up of all the karmas in a proper procedure, through a proper procedure. So he gives up all the karma, gives up all the relations, gives up all possession, and takes to sannyasa. And a sannyasi paryatati. He roams around. Means he does not have attachment to a particular place. That is why he roams around. If someone calls him in one place, he may go there. If they say go, he will go from there also. Or if someone creates too much of problem, he may leave that place. So, paryatati ityartha. Charati means paryatati. He roams around. Charati. Traditionally, a sannyasi keeps roaming around. He does not have a place of his own. Nisprahaha जीवन शरीर जीवन मात्रे अपि निर्गता स्पृहा यस्य सः निस्पृहः सन् निर्ममः शरीर जीवन मात्राक्षिप्त परिग्रहे अपि ममेदम इति अभिनिवेशवर्जितः निरहंकारः विद्यावत्वादिनिमित्तात् आत्मसंभावनारहितः इत्यर्थः निस्पृहः. See, spruha means kamaha. desire. Already vihaya kaman is told. So he has no kama. It has been already told. Then once again nispraha means free from desire. If you say, it will be dvirukti, punarukti, repetition. In order to avoid repetition, Bhashyakara gives another meaning, slightly different meaning. So, he does not have any other desires, but he is alive and he is continuing his life. Even towards his life, he does not have attachment. Sharira jivana matre api nirgata spruha yasya saha nispruha. Nirgata spruha yasya saha nispruha is the Vigraha Vakya. Sharira jivana matre api, even for his sharira, he has no attachment, no desire. My body should be like this, fit body, no attachment. So he may not use paint for his hair, etc. What's it called? Painting the hair? Hair dye. Yeah. So sharira and jivana matre api. Even for jivanam, I should live 100 years, he won't say. As long as prarabdha allows, let it live. Na jivite maraneva gridhim kurvita. He has no attachment for life and no desire to die also. Not that he will commit suicide. He won't commit suicide generally. Because even he doesn't want to die also. No desire to end his life also. Why I said generally? Because in some cases he may just accept to give up his body. Anyway, the purpose of the body is over. So let me give up the body. Some Mahatmas have done it. Either they may just enter into Ganga, or they may accept a Sajiva Samadhi. Just sit, dig a pit and sit in that, and others will put. Some people do that kind of a Sajiva Samadhi also. Because his life, purpose of life is over. And sometimes with his yogic ability, he may leave the body also. Even that happens in rare cases. But that is not needed. So generally, he may not do all those things. That is why I said generally he will not commit suicide. I have told it deliberately, generally. So, nispraha means sharira jivana matrepi nirgata spruha yasya saha nispraha. Nispraha sanna charati. Being nispraha, charati, he moves around, he lives. And nirmamaha, sharira jivana matra kshipta parigrahepi mama idam iti abhinivesha varjitaha. He does not have identification. The sense of possession he does not have. मम इदम इति अभिनिवेश वर्जितः. This is mine. Mama idam. This is my danda, my cloth, my kamandalu. A sannyasi does not have anything other than danda, kamandalu. And nowadays, in the place of danda, he has a mobile phone. It is a small truncated danda. So his possessions are minimum. So sharira jivana matra akshipta parigrahe api. Sharira jivana matra, just for maintenance of his body, akshipta. Some parigraha is akshipta, prapta. He has to take some parigraha. Certain possessions, minimum possessions are needed. Because without that, sharira jivanam is not possible. Like a kaupina achhadanadi. So minimum possession. It is a need-based possession. Even in that, mama idam iti abhinivesha varjitaha. He is free from abhinivesha, free from clinging, free from attachment. This is mine. He doesn't have the attachment. Nirahankaraha. And he is nirahankaraha. Vidyavattvadinimitta atma sambhavana rahitaha ityarthaha. He does not have ahankara. And here ahankara means atma sambhavana, self-glorification, pride in oneself. I am a great man. Ityadi. Vidyavattvadi nimitta. The pride caused by vidyavatva, caused by knowledge. I am vidyavan. I am a highly learned person. I am a scholar. A jnani does not take pride in that. Free from conceit, amani, amanitvam. Vidyavattvadi nimitta atma sambhavana rahitaha. He is free from atma sambhavana, self-glorification. He does not glorify himself. I have done this, I have studied this. No glorification of himself because of his accomplishments. Ityarthaha. This is the meaning of nirahankaraha. Saha evam bhutaha sthita prajnaha brahmavit shantim sarva samsara dukkho paramalakshanam nirvanakhyam adhigacchati prapnoti brahmabhutaha bhavati ityarthaha. Saha evam bhutaha. Saha, he. Evam bhutaha. Saha means evam bhutaha. Saha is there in the moola. Evam bhutaha. One who is of this nature. Sthita prajnaha. And he is a sthita prajna. Brahmavit, a brahmajnani. Shantim adhigacchati. he gets a Shanti. And what is Shanti? Sarva samsara dukkha uparama lakshanam Shantim. Shanti in the form of cessation of all the problems of samsara. Sarva samsara dukkha. The dukkha, sorrow, all emotional problems, which is called samsara. Samsara is an aggregate of all the emotional problems like sorrow, loneliness, sense of dissatisfaction, etc. Sarva samsara dukkha uparama lakshanam. Uparama, cessation of all samsara dukkha. That kind of Shanti. Not a relative Shanti. Nirvanakhyam. And the Shanti is called Nirvana. Another word for moksha is Nirvana. Mokshakhyam Shantim. Nirvana is a synonym of moksha. Adhigacchati is equal to prapnoti, attains. And in short, Brahmabhuto bhavati ityarthaha. He becomes Brahman. Brahmabhuto bhavati. He attains the status of Brahman. Because moksha is Brahman. Moksha is the very nature of Brahman. And a jnani is Brahman. Because all that separates him from Brahman is gone. The ignorance that separated him from Brahman is destroyed. And then he remains as Brahman. Brahma bhuto bhavati. Brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati. One who knows Brahman is Brahman. Ityarthaha. Saisha jnana nishtha stuyate. Yesha jnana nishtha. The jnana nishtha, the abidance in the jnana, which is described in these verses. Stuyate, it is glorified. Esha brahmi sthitif partha nainam prapya vimuhyati sthitva syamanta kalepi brahma nirvana mrichati. He Partha, O Partha, Esha Brahmi Sthitihi. Esha refers to Jnana Nishtha. This Jnana Nishtha, it is Brahmi Sthitihi. It is abidance in Brahman. The Ajnana is characterized by abidance in non-Brahman, abiding in the Nama-Rupa, abiding in the Upadhi, identifying with the body. We have placed the I, identification in the body, mind, senses, in the Abrahma, in the Anatma. Contrary to that, the Jnana Nishtha is Brahmi Sthitihi. It is abidance in Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. You remain as Brahman. एनाम प्राप्य न विमुह्यति. Enam prapya, having attained this, having attained the jnana nishtha, one does not get moha, one does not get deluded once again. After getting jnana, will ajnana come once again? It won't come. Once the ajnana is dispelled, it cannot come once again. Therefore, jnana is forever. Once you become mukta, once again you will not become samsari. Therefore, moksha is permanent. And now, Krishna glorifies in the second half. In the second half, the jnana nishtha is glorified. Asyam antakale api sthitva brahma nirvanam rachati. Asyam jnana nisthayam. In this jnana nishtha, in this brahmi sthiti, antakale api sthitva, attaining this and abiding in the jnana nishtha, even in the last stage of life. Antakale api, even in the last stage of life, means after grihastha and vanaprastha, after going through garhasthya and vanaprastha, then if someone takes sannyasa and pursues atmajnana, then he becomes atmajnani. Even then, antakale api sthitva brahma nirvanam rachati. Brahma nirvanam means moksha. Brahmani nirvanam, brahma nirvanam. Nirvana means moksha. And nirvana is attained in Brahman, in Brahma Swarupa. Therefore, Brahma nirvana. Rachati, he attains. Esha yathokta brahmi brahmani bhava iyam sthitihi sarvam karma sanyasya brahmarupena eva avasthanam ityetat. Esha means yathokta, which was described before. Brahmi is equal to yathokta jnana nishtha. Esha means yathokta jnana nishtha. The jnana nishtha which was told before. Brahmi is equal to brahmani bhava, which is present in Brahman, which is in Brahman. Brahmani bhava sthitihi, the abidance in Brahman. Brahmani bhava brahmi. Brahmi means in Brahman. Sthitihi, abidance, means abidance in one's own nature as Brahman. Sarvam karma sanyasya. And how this Brahmi sthiti happens? Bhashyakara describes the Brahmi sthiti. Sarvam karma sanyasya. Giving up all karmas, giving up all the activities. Brahmarupena eva avasthanam. Abiding only as Brahman. Not abiding as something other than Brahman. Aham dehaha, aham jivaha, all those identities are gone. He is just Brahman. Brahmarupena eva avasthanam. It is Brahmi sthiti. इत्येतत् हे पार्थ नैनां स्थितिं प्राप्य लब्ध्वा न विमुह्यति न मोहं प्राप्नोति. हे पार्थ, ओ पार्थ, एनां स्थितिं प्राप्य, having attained this sthiti, having attained this jnana-nishtha. We should not translate sthiti as a state. Don't translate sthiti as state. It is confusing. Sthiti means abiding in Brahman. Means you are not anything other than Brahman. Yeah. Na vimuhyati. Labdhva na vimuhyati. Prapya is equal to labdhva. Yeah, fine. Na vimuhyati is equal to na moham prapnoti. One does not get moha once again. One does not get deluded once again. Means after getting jnana, ajnana will not recur. Sthitva asyam sthitau brahmyam yathoktayam antakale api ante vayasi api brahma nirvanam brahma nirvritim moksham racchati gacchati kimu vaktavyam brahmacharyadeva sanyasya yavajjivam yaha brahmani eva avatisthate saha brahma nirvanam racchati iti. Sthitva asyam sthitau brahmyam sthitau asyam brahmyam sthitau. In this brahmi sthiti antakale api sthitva brahmyam sthitau yathoktayam. The brahmi sthiti which is already described, yathoktayam, which is described, antakale api sthitva, abiding in this even in antakala, even at the last stage of one's life. Antakale is equal to ante vayasi api, even during the last part of one's life. At the age of 65, 70 or 80, even at that age one can start Vedanta. So the idea is no time is too late, but it is better to start early. Ante vayasi api brahma nirvanam is equal to brahma nirvritim. Nirvana is equal to nirvriti. Means moksham, moksha. Racchati, gacchati, attains. So even at the last stage of life, if one attains jnana, then he gets moksha. And by saying this, Bhagavan is glorifying one who is pursuing the jnana at the earlier stage of his life. Kimu vaktavyam brahmacharyadeva sanyasya. Taking sannyasa right after brahmacharya. Brahmacharyadeva sanyasya. At an early stage of his life, he takes sannyasa. And yavajjivam yaha brahmani eva avatisthate. Yavajjivam, all his life, यह ब्रह्मणि एव अवतिष्ठते, he abides in Brahman, he pursues Brahmajnana and keeps assimilating Brahmajnana. Saha Brahma Nirvanam Rachati, he attains Brahma Nirvana. Iti kimu vaktavyam. This need not be stated separately. Kimu vaktavyam. Should it be told separately? When someone at Antakala, at the last stage of his life, attains moksha, if he pursues Brahmajnana and attains Jnana Nishtha at the last stage of his life, one who starts at an early age and abides in Brahmajnana, he attains moksha. This need not be stated separately. That means it is better to start early. If one starts early, the earlier one starts, the better. But no time is too late also. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So